UNLV beat Utah to set up a rematch of what most people thought would happen in this tournament, the number 1 seed BYU Cougars versus the number 2 seed UNLV Rebels in the championship game. No surprise here, Rebels and Cougars getting set to go in the Thomas and Mack Center for the Mountain West Conference Championship and an automatic bid. JT early for 3, that put BYU up 3-2. Sam Burgess hit this 3 to put BYU up 11-9. BYU started 4 of 4 from beyond the arc, and Chris Collinsworth with the throwdown would make it in a 6-point lead for the Cougars with 12.5 to go. Cougars pumped. Collinsworth take another look at it. Up, up, and away. He would get open for a 3-pointer from beyond the arc. These would be his 5 points of the game, a much-needed 5 points in a nice start to the first half for BYU, up by 11 with 10.5 to play. Lee Camard makes it a 10-point game after UNLV scored a couple of buckets. The Cougars were 6 of 7 from beyond the arc in the first half. But Curtis Terry, with 4.5 to play, cut it to a 5-point game, and he knew UNLV would not be quiet for long, especially on their home floor. Joe Darger, a 4-point play with 47.5 left in the first half. Now to the second half. Rene Rougeau, one of the better freshmen in the Mountain West Conference, gets the putback. UNLV has the lead. Joe Darger, nice dish from Curtis Terry, and UNLV is running away with it. But Jimmer Fredette would make it a 4-point game with 16 minutes left, and back and forth they went. Later, Jimmer would score 2 more of his 17 points on the night, probably his best game of the season. It's a 2-point deficit with 13 minutes left to play. However, Wink Adams would score UNLV's next 14 points, including 3 threes. Here's the third of those. Could not miss. And UNLV started to run away with this thing, and Lee Camard would foul out here with this push, and by then, bye-bye BYU, says UNLV. BYU loses 76-61. They lose the Mountain West Conference Championship game for the 2nd consecutive year, but BYU was led by Jimmer Fredette, 17 points. Lee Camard scored 11, but Wink Adams, just 23 points too much, and Curtis Terry with 20. This is what BYU had to say after the game about the loss.
Thought it was a hard-fought game. Both teams played really well. They played with a lot of energy in the second half, made a lot of big plays.
No, we know we're a good team, and we're actually a really good team. And I don't think this will have effect on what happens next week. We know that we're still going to be playing, and we're looking forward to competing still.
It's not like we're playing against a bunch of 8th graders. We're playing against great college basketball players, and you got to give them the credit. They're pretty good.
The difference is this year I think we're going to be able to handle this better. We can't let this carry over to our next game, wherever that may be or whoever that may be against. The next game is really important. Our most important game of the entire season. That's the way we're going to approach it.
It's kind of hard to when they got in a row over here. It's kind of hard to put them back on their heels.
All the teams are coming out here to play, to try to get into the NCAA tournament, and they're going to do anything it takes to be able to win that game. So the intensity is much higher, and the crowds are great. So just be ready for that next year.